Motivational Monday, getting you ready to do your week right. Today I am doing some freezer meal prep. Since we are back in town and I have the freezer space and we tend to be very busy while we're in town, I plan to freeze a more healthier choice than the processed freezer meals. Doesn't mean they're 100% healthy, but they definitely are a healthier choice than what you would find in the stores. And I'm plan to do a lot today, but I definitely plan to share a couple things with you. The first thing I will be doing today is cauliflower mash. I've actually never done this before. I heard it's delicious. We all like mashed potatoes, and not that potatoes are unhealthy for you, but cauliflower is a good source of other vitamins and minerals. So first thing is I chopped up the head of cabbage. I rinsed them off, placing them in my Insta pot with about 2 cups of water. Got my top. Gotta put it on sealing, not venting. And I am going to just press pressure cook. And I'm going to do it for 2 minutes once it gets up to pressure, and see how this goes. So I will put down below in the description box all the recipes I'm using, and if I got them from somewhere, I will refer to that place as well. So check down below in the description box for all this information. And while I'm waiting for this to cook, I am going to go ahead and get my sauerkraut started. All right, so for here, I am going to do some sauerkraut. I have 3 jars, a whole head of cabbage, which I don't know if it will fill these 3 jars, but at least I have them available. A shredder and pink Himalayan salt. So we are going to chop this up a little bit and get it shaved up and get the process started. Shredding it up pretty nice. Okay, so I have shredded it up, mashed it a little bit, and added some Himalayan salt so that way it can break down and start doing its thing. So now we're just gonna leave this on the counter sitting and go back to our cauliflower mash. All right, so I'm about to let my steam out of here, which is pretty much already done its thing. I've got 10 containers here that I will be putting it in to freeze. Got my handy dandy 1930s General Electric mixer here. And I'm going to add in some butter. And just a splash of milk until I know how much milk I'm actually going to need. The consistency looks pretty well. I am going to add some salt and pepper. Okay, so this is my first time doing this, and what I've noticed is that there were a couple pieces that didn't mash up so well. So what I'm going to do is just use my spoon and chop them up. Because they're cooked, they'll definitely chop. Alright, now I'm going to evenly spread it out between my two pans. And then I have some dairy-free cheese that I'm gonna sprinkle on top of them. Just kind of spread out. And voila! 2 frozen cauliflower mash. I'm also gonna take the time to write on here what it is and what the degrees I'll be baking it at. Something like this, you don't have to be so descriptive, but you'll see in other things I might be. And let's add it to the freezer. Okay, I plan to do 2 loaves of bread, and I've got about 12 and a half eggs here. I'm gonna dash in pretty decent amount of vanilla since I have a pretty decent amount of eggs. My cinnamon and some milk. Get these babies ready. So I don't know if I told you what I was making, but I'm pretty sure all of you have guessed that it's French toast. So let's get these babies cooking. right, so after they are cooked, I'm gonna put them on this pan and flash freeze them before putting them in the bags to store them in, as freezer bags. So one tip that I believe is good to know is that you don't want to cook them all the way, because they are going to go into the oven in our sake, because we don't have a toaster, or the toaster, depending on what you have. So you just want to lay them out on here. And stick them in the freezer to freeze them for a little bit. The purpose for flash freezing them is the fact that you don't want them to stick together once you stick them in the bag. So you just flash freeze them and then they're good to go. For anybody wondering, this is gluten-free bread. We try to stay away from gluten and just try to eat as healthy as possible. Do we succeed every day? No, there's plenty of days that we fail. And that's okay. I don't really look at it as failing, but there's got to be more good going in you than bad is our only goal. So the other thing that I use to help them not stick together is parchment paper. I just cut it up into little pieces, so that way it is able to, again, not stick to each other. To package them up, I get my bag ready, put them down, then I take a parchment paper and another piece and just put it in between them. Doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be usable. Go ahead and try to get all the air out of there. And voila! You have breakfast without having to really make breakfast. Alright, now it's time to put our sauerkraut together. It's gotten pretty moist and ready to be jarred up. So we are going to jar it up. While I'm jarring it up, I actually have on the stove a brine going, which is just salt and water, so that way we can get all of this underneath water. You might be able to hear my kids in the background. They're out swimming in the pool. You do want to leave some room in your jars because it tends to bubble up. I like to take some of the old pieces, or the top pieces should I say, that I peeled off, and use these to help it stay down in there. As long as it's immersed in water, you won't find any mold growing, but you definitely want to keep it immersed in the water. Alright, so my brine is cooked up. It's just water and salt. And I'm going to pour it into these jars. until they are filled with some space though. Best part about this meal is that you can't really mess it up. As long as there's no mold growing, it's good to go. The flavor is there on its own. Right, so you're just gonna take your piece that you have and kind of make sure it's covered. I have it in another jar because this could make a mess, so you just want to push it down in there. And then there's a little too much liquid, so I'm going to pour it out. And there you go. And when you put the top on it, you don't want to screw the top all the way down. You want to give it room to bubble up if it needs to, because it will. It's part of the process. And so seems to have enough water. And again, don't do that top all the way. You just want to very lightly screw it in. And then I'm going to pour out this excess, and I'm going to keep it on my countertop for about a week, checking it ever so awfully to make sure that the glass isn't breaking or that it's below the water. So all right, I hope you enjoyed those couple things that I shared with you on my freezer journey today. Please give this video a big thumbs up, and I'll make sure to make more. I'm making this one because my last one got a decent amount of views and made me see that you guys enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment down below if you have any questions or there's something that you would like to see me make. I try to make as healthy as options as possible. Like I said in the beginning though, sometimes I fail. So hope you enjoyed today's video, and see you guys on next Motivational Monday.